In this video, I'm going to show you how to insert a pivot table. So a pivot table, it basically just helps you understand the information better, especially this kind of information where for example, Alice is appearing more than once in this data. So Alice bought a laptop, Alice bought an office desk, and Alice bought a keyboard. So you just kind of like want to summarize this data so it makes sense, right? So the first step that you're gonna do, you're gonna highlight the information that you want your pivot table to look at, and you're going to go on the insert, and you're gonna click on the pivot table. Okay, so the pivot table, it already, as you can see here, it has already picked up that highlighted information that you want to sum up. Then it gives you those options to say, do you need this pivot to be on a new sheet, or do you want it to be on this existing page? So we're going to start with the new sheet, and then we'll later come on the existing worksheet. Okay, so we're going to say yes. So if you want to move it, you can always just move it where you want it to go. Okay, we're going to start with the new worksheet, then we click OK. Okay, so now when it comes out, it's gonna give you these options to say, like, all the options that you've got on your table that you want to work on. So in this case, we want a salesperson in a role. We want to know how many products did each person buy at this point, and the units that actually they sold. So this is the data. It tells people which product they sold and how many units of that. Okay, so that's what we want to establish here. So the data, there you go. The data is like this. So now it shows you in this format that Alice sold in total, she sold 15 units. Of those 15 units, it was the keyboards, of which she sold 10, and the laptops, which she sold 3, and the office desk, as she sold 2. So you see now, this information you can clearly read than this where you say, okay, there's Alice on line 1, she sold 3 laptops, then you must go and look. So this now, it kind of like summarizes all of that information. Okay, so and then the second part of the so we're gonna delete this part, and we're gonna go to the second part where now we're going to do a pivot that now on the existing worksheet. Now we don't want it to go to a next to create another worksheet. We want it to be in this worksheet. So same, you follow the same steps. You highlight the information that you want the pivot to look at. You go here where it says insert, you click on your pivot, and then it has already highlighted that, it selected that information for you. You want it to be on the existing workbook that you're working on. So you need to now, after you selected this current workbook, you need to now show it where do you want this pivot to be at. So I want my pivot to start on column M, line 4. Right, so I'm gonna click where I want it to go, and then I'm just gonna say okay. So now, as you can see, there it is. It's gonna start there. So I want to follow the same process. The salesperson, I want to see the product that they've sold, right? And I want to see how many products of that product they've sold. Okay, so now here it is. Instead of it being on the other page, now it's on the same workbook that you're working on. You can see Alice sold 15, Bob sold 9, Charlie sold 7, and Dana sold 6. Okay, and then it gives you a breakdown of what makes up that total that Alice sold, right? Thank you. So you please subscribe and like so you can get notification when I post videos.